I have a feeling we're on the right track.
I'm gonna check the data when I get back.
Hello. I hope I didn't startle you. This is a work habit of mine. Using touch to open my senses and letting the details of your biological existence flood into my brain helps me understand your construction as a living organism. Such is the basis of deconstruction and reconstruction. Do not be concerned. You are very healthy. In fact, impeccably so. A perfect experimental specimen. I like perfect experimental specimens. Yes, I'm happy to meet you too. We've met before in the simulated universe. I expect the views here had me lost in thought. I don't usually go in and out of the space station, and only discovered today that it was blessed with such calm, open views. It is a wonderful fit for the sweet fragrance of lotus leaves, plum blossoms, sticky rice, and frosting sugar. Come here. Look. The blue planet is directly below us. It is so full of life. This dessert is very delicious. Here, take half. Delicious desserts remind people of how flowers look when they bloom. Ingest this dessert one bite at a time, and the sweetness will linger in your mouth. I hope you like it too. So, what do you think? I can certainly prepare more for you. It's become somewhat of a tradition to bring strawberry pastries when I visit Stephen Lloyd. His attendance seems quite dependent on them. An outstanding dessert. 10 grams of cubed sugar, 1 dried and salt-preserved plum blossom. Baking and cooking are the same as nurturing a universe. The heat must be controlled, planning must be meticulous, and one must not panic, no matter what happens. Unfortunately, there are still too many people in the space station. The clamor is not fitting for desserts. By the way, do you remember what my research is about?
No. My research area is short stories about toilets. Huh? What's going on? What am I talking about?
I see. What a cute hobby. But remember, the next time something like this happens, it's crucial to mask your expression until you've ascertained the situation. If not, you'll be full of weaknesses that others can see through. Let's try again. Now, what else would you like to ask?
The dessert was tasty. I would like more. Why can't I say what I want to say?
You have quite the appetite. All right, I'll give you the recipe. Come and have a walk with me. A stroll is the most appropriate post-dessert activity. As the masses depart, there's an enveloping calm here. Just like in the no-man's land I've ventured to in the past. Can you imagine a completely lifeless world? From there, you can glimpse the stars that lie at the very edge of the horizon. Following its celestial trajectory, the Great Teal Star illuminates an endless sea of white across both the sky and land. My mother and I navigated calm glaciers, looking for signs of life on that world, and encountered many bizarre phenomena. It was like finding the single correct piece in a mountain of jigsaw pieces. The process was convoluted and unimaginably difficult. But it was touching and enthralling as well. My apologies. It appears my words have left you perplexed. Please, don't be on edge. I bear no ill will. I haven't interfered with your linguistic faculties. Such an act would be impolite. I merely made a minor adjustment. A few days ago, I made my interest in you known to Herta. My intention is for you to serve as an assistant. Based on our interactions within the simulated universe, I firmly believe you fit the bill. I find extending trust beyond myself is challenging. A single error in detailed research can generate issues, and I despise matters that escape my control. Therefore, I added anti-truth serum to this dessert. It will not harm you. However, you will be unable to say what you truly think when answering questions related to me. Treat it as a layer of protection. This will shield my research and your personal safety. Once the problems have been dealt with, I'll give you the antidote. I can also reward you as compensation for being my assistant. I will fulfill your every wish. Does that bother you? I believe we will be able to be frank with each other, but that needs time. When I first arrived on the space station, I borrowed the phase flame from Herta. It's an invention of member number 29's circle. I hope to be enlightened by other society members' results. A surge of creativity led me to explore the cultivation of life on the space station. In my imagination, these life forms would be a new variety that are born as geniuses. I plan to name them after Lambda, member number 8 of the Genius Society. I don't know where it went wrong. They possess their own sentience, but are nowhere near geniuses. Moreover, my free-range approach seems to have backfired. In a lab leak incident a few days ago, some of these little life forms ran away and scattered all over the space station. I do not wish for Herta or Asta to be involved in this. Therefore, I'm hoping you can assist in recovering these little life forms. I do trust you. This has nothing to do with them. Besides, the more people involved, the more problems there will be. The researchers are still treating these entities as visitors. I want to steer clear of making my presence known, so as not to cause undue disturbances. I entrust this to you. Once the little life forms are collected, simply find a proper place for them. The researchers in the Department of Ecology should know about this, and provide you with suitable advice.
It's still early. Where to now?
People who buy that think smart water raises their IQ.
What? A place where the space station stores dangerous experimental results? Why would anyone want to know that? Wait, did someone send you here to try to get things out of me? I'm not doing any private business on the space station. I have absolutely no knowledge of any special hiding places. And I certainly haven't sold any old junk rare treasures or discarded curios or anything like that.
You're so cute! Can I get an autograph? So, I really can't say anything about her.
Autograph? What are you on about? You're freaking me out! I won't talk to you if you don't tell me why you're here. Oh, that. You've got pretty good contacts if you know that already. The space station is a mess. Everyone's already swamped as it is. And now out of nowhere, there's a bunch of little creatures popping up. If you want to solve the problem, go check out the storage zone. Then you'll understand.
There are so many people. This seems to be the place.
Hey, guess what I got my hands on? Word on the street is that this is the downgraded version of Ranmei's life cultivation formula. It says 10 carats of ingenuity, 1 ton of practice, 30 particles of starquake, and a few drops of poisonous liquor for Madame Yu Qingtu. Rumor has it that it once created a talking chair. Not a particularly intelligent one, but boy, did it have a sharp tongue. They dismantled it and used it for firewood. Can you believe it? Let's give it a shot, shall we? First things first, we need to pick out the ingredients. We need to add some other good stuff in, but don't go overboard. And now we mix them together. Wait, it says on the recipe, Ranmei makes different expressions when nurturing life. Yikes, take a look at what you just cultivated.
Ranmei, member 81 of the Genius Society, a resounding name in science and the veritable epitome of life form cultivation. Researchers here have heard so much about her for so long. But once she arrived on the space station, she just took over everything. And what did Madame Herta do? Absolutely nothing.
Never fear, the galactic baseballer is here.
I can't even say that.
Molten cheese tart is the best. Its outlook is infectious. Its positive mood has influenced us all. What's our slogan again? 1. Stop complaining. Change your attitude and use the delicious molten cheese tart to stop the flow of negative energy. 2. Energize yourself. Increase your capacity for action and walk on the path of molten cheese tart's absolute conviction.
Our creed, molten cheese tart is the best. Oh, praise be! You don't know? Molten cheese tart is Madame Ranmei's top fan. This is how it preaches. Those who offer their love are expressing admiration and affection for Miss Ranmei. Oh, let me tell you something. Mr. Screwthum's followers are all very logical, but they're just awaiting the arrival of the mechanical aristocracy. Since you're so interested, I'll tell you how to secure an audience with the Honorable Molten Cheese Tart. You'll need to work hard to get there. You need to plaster hearts wherever Madame Ranmei has been. If you're sincere enough, the Honorable Molten Cheese Tart will show itself.
So this is the little life form Ranmei made?
I am humbled to meet the molten cheese tart. What are you frozen in place for? Oh, you don't understand the honorable tart. That's okay. No worries for situations like this. We've specifically concocted a synesthesia beacon.
Wakaka! I'm a genius among geniuses! That was way too risky.
Oh, molten cheese tart says Madame Ranmei has finally recognized my ingenuity. Molten cheese tart says, does Madame Ranmei recognize me as a masterpiece? Molten cheese tart says, Madame Ranmei still has not recognized me as a life form that passes the requirements. I need to work harder. Oh, such an enthusiastic molten cheese tart. There's a kind of attachment reserved for the creator. To the world, you are but one person. But to me, you are the entire world. Oh, Madame Ranmei. Hey, you! Yes, you! Don't you have anything you want to say to Molten Cheese Tart? You should at least express how you would like to follow Molten Cheese Tart. We wouldn't want to mistake you for an agent of gray bean paste, would we? Good! You have great taste! You see, the Honorable Molten Cheese Tart has always been fighting against gray bean paste in terms of flavor. The Honorable Molten Cheese Tart is a firm believer that people's lives need to be optimistic. They both hope to receive Madame Ranmei's recognition and have been working so hard. You need to call it the Honorable Molten Cheese Tart. It's genuinely puzzling, despite Molten Cheese Tart's remarkable qualities. Why hasn't Madame Ranmei acknowledged it? It's clear that it yearns for her love. Love from the creator to her creation? Familiar love? Doesn't sound right. Romantic love? Definitely not. I don't know. Expecting me to understand love is like asking me to map the farthest reaches of the universe. Remember, as long as love is your compass, you're on the right track. And in the wise words of the Honorable Molten Cheese Tart, love must be shouted from the rooftops. That depends if the Honorable Tart agrees to it. Oh? The Honorable Molten Cheese Tart has agreed.
You're here. Herta called Skrullum and I to the space station to discuss some important topics. She also sent an invite to Steven, but he didn't reply, and Herta didn't seem to want to wait any longer. And now, I wish for you to attend this meeting with me. I don't want Herta to worry herself over these frivolous matters, even though she probably wouldn't care anyway. Just in case, I want someone who will be on my side. In other words, you. Help me. It'll be easy. Just remember, my secret stays with you, don't pry too much, and keep your expressions in check. Alright. There's no rush. Herta called Skrullum and I to... And now? Alright, let's go.
Hi, Ron-May! I've been waiting for you. Oh, you're here too? Looks like you two have become quite friendly.
It's good to see you, sir. Affirmation. This reunion has happened earlier than my calculations predicted.
Though you weren't invited, I welcome you to remember this historical moment. How long has it been since 3 geniuses were in the same room together? And how long will we have to wait for it to happen again?
Affirmative. Discounting our discussions on the simulated universe, our interactions are scarce. I look forward to the innovative ideas that may emerge from this juxtaposition of minds.
Let me get straight to the point. I think it's time to find another partner for the simulated universe.
You wish to kick Steven out?
No, of course not. Steven doesn't want to get involved and voted to abstain. Oh, whatever. Look, I respect the way people want to live, but he doesn't have the chance to be involved in this decision-making anymore.
Question. Are we introducing a 5th partner for the simulated universe?
Yes, a 5th genius. The reason for our gathering is clear to everyone present. What else could prompt such a gathering of brilliant minds except for the answer? No one can refuse the secret of the eons. Not even Xandar. We'll definitely get a response.
What if the responder is Polka Kakamond?
That'd be great! Hey, Lord of Silence, are you listening? I'm member number 83, Herta, and I want to meet you. I believe you and I will have a lot to talk about.
It's unlikely we'll hear from Polka Kakamond. She's been off the grid for quite some time. Probability, member number 64, Dr. Primitive, may appear.
That's a hard pass. Given Dr. Primitive's shady research practices and his tussle with the Galaxy Rangers, the IPC will surely turn this into a media circus. He can get lost. I'd prefer it if the simulated universe remained scandal-free. What about you, Chingtu? Are you still in touch with her, Ron-May? Is she still alive?
Can we ask him to leave if we are to discuss this topic? The process will be long and boring. There's no need to take up other people's time.
Of course! You brought him in after all. It's up to you.
All right. Let me walk you out.
And what the heck is this?
Seems like a programming error.
Oh, this fragment of Ron-May. Have you seen it in the simulated universe before?
The simulated universe is my home. I'm speaking nonsense again.
It's probably an isolated glitch.
Fine. I'm used to turning a blind eye to these things. It makes life easier. I am curious, though. Are you gonna keep it, Ron-May?
I probably will. Records indicate he likes this occurrence.
All right, I agree. As long as it helps you with your research, you can do whatever you want.
Come along. I'll see you out.
What's wrong? You're not leaving? female, wears a fashionable scarf. I find her rather fascinating.
The air in the space station has a pleasant quality. Affirmation. Dr. Primitive's true identity is not known to me. His previous transgressions against humanity...
It appears I was overthinking things. Impulsive behavior is pretty characteristic of her after all. Thankfully, it was just a minor scare. Still, meetings give me such a headache. It seems I'll have to stay put for a while. I see that you've recovered the life form in the Master Control Zone. Thank you. Well done. I was simply being overly cautious. It is a habit of mine. Apologies. There's some things that I must tell you now. If I wait for the meeting to finish, then it might be too late. The retrieval of my life forms isn't complete yet. There's more than just one, and some are stored in a sealed zone. Herta uses that place to welcome visitors from across the stars, or to welcome members of the Genius Society. However, due to the Legion's invasion, it is no longer open to the public. And now my headache is stored there. There's much you don't know about the space station, and even more about Herta. But there is some information I can give you. That place is also used to welcome non-humanoid visitors, and as a shuttle that connects to outer space. I'm giving you my access card. Give me your hand, and I'll input your fingerprint into it. Stay vigilant, Assistant. Should you come across a threat you can't handle, just alert me. I'll come to your aid no matter what. Remember, there is a giant incubator in the middle of the zone. That's where my headache is stored. Once you're back, come find me on the railway platform. Then you'll understand everything.
What would a sealed zone look like?
Buzz.
What's up with this unit? It looks different from the one in the Master Control Zone.
Buzz. Madam Herta, open zone. Buzz. To welcome alien species, galactic visitors. High risk zone. Buzz. Service staff, inorganic life forms. Buzz. Permission status. Madam Ron May. Permissions granted. Madam Herta. Fine. As long as it keeps her happy. Buzz. Buzz. I am a twin of the rice-frying robot. I am the leftover rice frying robot. Buzz. Maintain zone operation. Job of inorganic life forms. Buzz. Welcome, Buzz. Visitor, how can I help? Fry leftover rice. Buzz. Fry leftover rice. Buzz. Welcome, visitor. What do you need? Buzz. Conclusion. You cannot enter. Probability 50%. Other paths are open. Assessment. Seeking directions. Buzz. Suggestion. Proceed to basement. Locate records of cultivation path. Buzz.
Is that all?
The kindling for the phase flame is fascinating. Unfortunately, before the research could be completed, it vanished. I've initiated new attempts. The growth status of the two samples this time is promising. I incorporated personal taste preferences into the concept, but I'm uncertain about the outcome of such an action. They simultaneously possess two sets of emotional traits. They are at once cute, weak, sentimental, and sensitive, yet are also fierce, instigating, demanding, and confident. Interestingly, they also possess a kind of inclination, a yearning for their creator. It manifests as a natural, inherent emotion, similar to that of a baby towards its mother. Life towards sustenance, or the peculiar bond between humans.
Huh? What's that sound out there? This is the headache Rangmei mentioned? It's just a different flavor. I'm not one of Rangmei's recognized works. Too much negative energy. Don't like negative energy. Rangmei! Why? What's that noise? Follow me. It'll be okay. I need to find a place for this little one. That sound seems to be from that locked room. How do I get in?
Awaken, dormant scales. Delve, hidden moon. World cleansing dragon. I sense a storm. Heaven search. Rise!
Seize the moment!
I'm on guard.
Nap time.
The strength. Heaven search. Break! What are you supposed to? Awaken, dormant scale. World cleansing dragon. Heaven search. Rise! The consequences are mine to bear. What are these the clouds saw? Heaven search. Break!
Seize the moment! Yeah! That's better.
Do not fret. Awaken, dormant scale. World cleansing dragon. Heaven search. Rise! The consequences are mine to bear.
I never imagined there'd be so many of them.
The final days that member number 23 Echa spent in the mechanical city showed me that even the longest of lives, such as hers, have a limit. I'm now certain that the outcome of this cultivation is failure. Life can exist in thousands of different forms, which means the form itself has no purpose. These life forms are very advanced in their own concepts, and can even trigger chain reactions such as synesthesia, but that is not what I desire. I'm starting to feel lost. Perhaps the question, what is the essence of life, never had an answer. Number 1, Xandar, have you ever felt this lost? Or resigned?
You are here too? Seems like this is the other end of that one-way path. Are you telling me to keep going?
Life is countless and varied in form. I firmly believe in that. Its beauty is like a myriad of flowers, and I want to pluck the one that never wilts. The patterns of all things always have complicated and enchanting exteriors, while their inner essences remain simple and plain. If we were to trace things back to their roots, just one equation would be enough to solve the confusion of all life. Ever since I was a child, I have always delighted in observing aspects of microscopic creatures, such as the speed with which slime molds devour objects. I have also gazed far and wide across the macroscopic world, investigating the progress of the universe up to this day. It was all very simple. I wish to discover the true essence of life, something that all individuals possess unknowingly, whether it is the materialism of their existence or an unknown entity beyond corporeal realms. To avoid blind faith in science, I cautiously raised a query. Would Ram-Mei be able to peel away external influences? Just like pinpointing a coordinate, would she be able to uncover life's most primordial and beautiful form of existence? I thought of one life form that would truly lie beyond my reach, and that is...
Lance ablaze! Lance! Forward! Oh, Grace. Not yet. Not now.
Well, yeah!
Ta-da.
I'm okay. We were supposed to attack yesterday. Yeah! 1,000 wonders to fight is fun!
Lance ablaze! Lance! Forward!
Naughty child. Nap time. Can we talk? Just a little something. Think nothing of it. Better late than never. Let's be friends.
What are these the crown song?
Lance ablaze! Flaming lance! Forward!
I sense a storm. Heaven's surge. Rise!
Seize the moment. Yeah!
I'm on guard.
Time for a shot.
The strength. Heaven's surge. Break! The consequences are mine to bear.
Sounds fitting. Stay here for a bit. Did something just open?
Hidden room. Buzz. Only Madame Ron May has permissions. Please submit your ID. Buzz. Permissions granted. Buzz. Select from the below services. 1. Check historical incubation records. 2. Inorganic lifeform companionship chat service. This function has been damaged.
Is this?
I thought of one life form that would truly lie beyond my reach. And that is an emanator. I cannot comprehend what an emanator is. Scholars view them as the executors of the Eon's power. So, when did it begin? And at what point did they become closer to the Eons than any other life form? At first, I tried to create a genius. I failed. That question has no solution yet, and a long journey of discovery still lies ahead. However, erudition isn't the only path in the universe. If we set logic aside, would there be more primitive and pure emanators on other paths? Of course there would be. Tazeront. I was able to see the beginning and end of the swarm disaster through the simulated universe, obtain data on the Imperator and Sectorum and their descendants, replicate them, nurture them, and create a brand new scientific discipline. It is a logical decision. I will certainly succeed. The entity that I reconstruct will bloom into a life never before seen. Will Herta and Screwlum like this experiment? Most likely not. Therefore, before they realize what I am doing, I must hurry my work, as well as find a fitting assistant.
Permission granted. Buzz. Select from the below services. 1. Check visitor records. 2. Open incubator entrance. Madame Ron May. Buzz. Alien species. Buzz. Man with plaster head. Buzz.
Seems like there's something new.
Permission granted. Buzz.
That sound's coming from above.
This could serve you well.
Not a scratch.
Awaken, dormant scales.
World-cleansing dragon. Heaven's surge. Break.
Seize the moment! Yeah!
Do not fret.
Heaven's surge. Rise!
Water heeds the cloud song. World-cleansing dragon. The times are changed. The heavens surge. Break! The strength. The heavens surge. Rise!
Seize the moment. Yeah! Can we talk? Nap time. Yeah!
The consequences are mine to bear.
There's someone in the distance. Who is that?
Here, a genius move. And how will you counter it? Only an idiot would ask such a question. Just move this here. You look distressed. Something the matter? If that's the case, you better get thinking. Are you waiting for a sign? Time is ticking. Descend via the elevator. What you seek is there. Have you considered whether the answer to your question will be of any relevance to our current predicament? If a question is of no help, then don't ask it. Time is clearly precious to the both of us. Never mind. Allow me to clarify something. I know exactly who you are, and I'm aware you are in Ron May's employ. This was not my intended destination. I just happened to find my way here during my visit and saw what she was up to. My goals are roughly aligned with yours. Since you're here, I won't intercede. But should you fail, I will be forced to prevent some avoidable misfortunes. That's all you need to know. Just 2 paragraphs. Very effective communication. Because I can't bear to see idiots. Of course, they wouldn't want to see me either. The real Ron May's creation is hidden in the giant incubator below us. Go. Take the elevator and bear witness to this genius masterpiece.
Station has an area this big? An emanator of propagation clone? How can that be?
Awaken dormant scales.
World-cleansing dragon.
1,000 wonders to raid. Fight as one!
Heaven's Surge. Break! 'm on guard.
Naughty child.
Do not fret. Awaken dormant scale.
World-cleansing dragon. Lance ablaze. Lance! Forward!
Let's be friends.
Lance at the ready. Hit!
Welcome, customers.
Time for a shot.
I'm on guard. Heaven's Surge. Break!
Keep the moment.
Just a little something. Think nothing of it.
Nice teamwork.
Nap time.
Lance at the ready. Lance ablaze. Lance! Forward! Heaven's Surge. Rise!
Let's be friends.
Awaken dormant scales.
World-cleansing dragon.
1,000 wonders to raise your spirit. Fight as one!
Time for a shot.
Heaven's Surge. He'll destroy the space station. I'm on guard.
I sense a storm. Awaken dormant scales.
World-cleansing dragon.
Welcome, customers.
Hit! Lance ablaze. Lance! Forward!
Just a little something. Think nothing of it.
Do not fret.
Nap time.
The strength.
Heaven's Surge. Rise!
Let's be friends.
sense a storm.
Heaven Surge.
Welcome, customers. Yeah! 1,000 wonders to raid its finest climb!
Just a little something. Think nothing of it.
Lance ablaze! Lance! Forward!
Awaken, dormant scales.
Blood-cleansing dragon!
Heaven Surge.
Rise!
Nap time.
Lance at the ready. Hit!
Heaven Surge.
It's time. Lance ablaze. Lance! Forward!
Strength. Heaven Surge. Rise!
The creature was unable to sustain its own existence and vanished as if it had never been born. The threat is over. Time to get going.
Is it over? I need to get some answers out of Rong-Mei.
The meeting of geniuses is over. As for the future of the simulated universe, that conclusion isn't important. What's important is your task. You look upset, correct? I regret my actions. There's no defending what I've done. Time and again, my experiments have fallen short, and they've always yielded predictable results. I made a clone, but it doesn't hold a candle to the Emanator. How should I have explained it to you? I'm not good at communicating with others. Restrained by time and place, its code of life could only be considered an incomplete attempt. I managed to replicate the moment it was born, However, it would soon disappear and be reduced to particles. Like every living being, it inevitably faced its demise as it journeyed towards the end. I find no fault in that. However, even the briefest life should have meaning. I want to know the limits of its capacity. It will indicate how far I've gone in a field completely incomprehensible to me. And it was a minuscule step, just as I had predicted. I did say that if a danger proved too great for you, I would personally step in to confront it. I must admit, I'm not fond of scenarios where everything aligns perfectly with my expectations. An experiment should have its unforeseen twists. That's where the joy lies. Even the most predictable storylines can have their pleasant surprises. I have to admit that these little ones born in the process sometimes move me. I see a human-like response in them. It is a concept completely opposite to that of divinity. They have emotions. Emotions may be either positive or negative. However, the love rooted in the depths of their heart is eternal and unchanging. They're still a long way from becoming geniuses, and are therefore unable to discern whether this love is one of friendship, romance, or familial love. That being said, can even geniuses tell the difference? I cannot, at least. I do not understand what love is, and cannot respond to their feelings. Do you believe my actions were wrong? There's no need to tell me your answer. I just felt like asking the question. How should I take care of them? Perhaps leaving them at the space station is the best choice. Do I seem irresponsible? I'm sorry. I am often at a loss as to how to face my own creations. The effects of the anti-truth serum will also wear off. If others mention me to you in the future, you can answer however you like. Or even pretend you never knew me. After all, your memory of me will soon dissipate like smoke. Over time, hidden truths tend to surface. Past traumas, which I'd rather leave behind, have made me skeptical about trusting anyone but myself. If I do not want a secret revealed, the most foolproof way is to destroy it. The anti-truth serum will make you forget the brief period we spent together. It won't take effect immediately. It is a slow, intangible process, like the sweet fragrance of lotus leaves, plum blossom, sticky rice, and frosting sugar. Perhaps you'll remember someone performed selfish experiments on the space station, but you will no longer remember their identity. Perhaps we'll meet again someday, but you won't be able to connect me with the recollection. That way, the connection between life forms will be erased. Friendships, secrets, grudges, lies, all will disappear. It will make our lives more relaxing. I believe you. Screwlum will stay on the space station for a while longer. He and Herta still have problems they need to solve. As for me, I'm leaving soon and won't bother with goodbyes. Do you still remember the no man's land I mentioned? I'm considering a solo trip back there during my research downtime, just to see how things are. I miss member number 55 Yu Qingtu sometimes. She used to always make something delicious for me to drink every time we parted ways. I hope I won't meet member number 4 Polka Kakamond. That would be quite troublesome. Who knows when the next gathering of geniuses will be? Do you have anything else you want to say to me? I find that difficult to answer. I thank you, Mr. Assistant. If fate allows and you're interested, upon our next meeting, We could journey to No Man's Land and traverse its tranquil glaciers. Though I suppose it wouldn't be No Man's Land anymore. What a conundrum.
It's still early. Where to now?
People who buy bad things.
Newsflash. Good evening, Madame Herta fans. This is an urgent broadcast. The great Madame Herta, member 83 of the Genius Society, has been targeted in an attack at the space station. Her current whereabouts are unknown, with no group having stepped forward to claim responsibility. Many Heritors are upset at the ineptitude of upper management, having issued strong protest and condemnation.
Mr. Scrollum, this was a premeditated attack.
Conclusion. Their target was the space station, but their strategies are still unknown to us.
That's right. Which is precisely why we need him. The last to lay eyes on Herta's puppet before the attack was him.
And you are?
This is Dr. Ratio of the Intelligentsia Guild, a delegate from the IPC.
He's only just woken up, dazed. He may need a few pointers. Ah, we cross paths again. Do you remember me? Of course. Why would you? Memory is such a fickle thing, after all.
Mr. Trailblazer, you must have many questions. Please be patient. Asta will explain it all to you.
You probably know the gist of things already. A few system hours ago, one of Madame Herta's puppets was attacked by an unknown perpetrator. We don't know the location of the puppet, and we can't pinpoint its signal. She's away on a visit. This issue didn't seem to trouble her much.
She received an invitation from the IPC before the attack occurred.
Ah, the technology department. Charming little place, isn't it? Madame Yabuli does possess some semblance of competence, but her subordinates? Oof. Oh, they're a riot. Brimming with enthusiasm, yet utterly devoid of intellect. It's as if evolution halted prematurely for them. They want to start some new collaborations with Herta, and have graciously extended an invite for me to play the role of science consultant. It's delightfully amusing. I can't wait to witness firsthand how these geniuses from the so-called Super Smart Club squander the IPC's vast resources. However, this attack was timed a little too well. I can't help but wonder if someone leaked this information, and the attackers seized the opportunity. Herta's aloof response to these juvenile provocations? Almost as intriguing. What a delightful little puzzle.
I've long heard that you're one of the best researchers in the guild, Dr. Ratio. We are honored to have your assistance.
Save your flattery. Time is hardly a luxury we can squander. To debate the merits of mere mortals in the company of an actual genius? Quite the paradox, if you ask me. Excuse me, you. Tell me, what were you doing the last time you saw that puppet? Don't play the fool. Think.
I think I was.
Oh, right. I need your help with something else. That curio's gone missing, and I can't just forget about it. Go find it for me when you have the time. I'm sure you can manage that, can't you? Let me describe it again in case you forgot. It's alive, but it doesn't have a body. Send me a signal when you see traces of it.
I think she mentioned something important, but I can't remember. If only there were some hints, then maybe...
Anyway, keep up the good work. I need to go out for a bit. Go ask Asta if you want someone to help you.
My memory is kind of hazy. What did I do after that? I think Herta mentioned Asta. That's right,
Let me describe it again in case you forgot. It's alive, but it doesn't have a body. Send me a signal when you see traces of it.
I think she mentioned something important, but I can't remember. If only there were some hints, then maybe...
Anyway, keep up the good work. I need to go out for a bit. Go ask Asta if you want someone to help you.
This is what I recall before I met Herta, but I can't remember some of the details. Let me try to remember the conversation with Asta.
A curio that's alive but doesn't have a body. Sorry, but nothing comes to mind. Maybe the researchers at the Departments of Ecology or Insight may have an idea? Hinkle and are around here somewhere. I'd suggest you ask them about it.
Asta seems to have mentioned two names. Two researchers from the Departments of Ecology and Insight.
Those despicable villains are distorting the truth online. Ugh. If I discover who's behind this, they're gonna wish they'd never crossed me. A curio that's alive but doesn't have a body? Isn't that just a jinx? Oh, nowadays people call them wubbaboos? Well, I might be the Department of Ecology head, but I'm not the most knowledgeable person when it comes to curios. Adler would be of more help, but he's been investigating some paranormal phenomenon. I haven't seen him all day. I must say, it's a little embarrassing for the space station to be in such disarray while guests are visiting. We've been through a huge crisis and are still recovering. But there are some who are trying to exploit the chaos to agitate the workforce. People are growing more and more distrustful of the management here. It's probably turned into a big headache for Asta, too. Never mind, I shouldn't be telling you this. It's something that we researchers need to resolve ourselves. Pretend I didn't say anything.
Adler. Right. Then I ran into Arlen. Adler was with... him. And... was that... and... Adler was with Arlen. They were involved in some sort of incident.
What? He went to the scene alone with Peppy? How could you let him?
Calm down, Brother Arlen. I know you're upset.
We're walking the dog.
We're having a walk.
Like I said, we're walking the dog.
So I'm the dog?
They seem to be hiding something.
Is there something you need?
Oh, really? What a coincidence. We're looking for him, too. That kid sure is brave, running straight to the scene on his own. Yes, well, Peppy isn't here, you see. Brother Arlen, I can't keep this up anymore.
Can you leave the talking to me next time? Let's walk and talk. Why are you looking for Adler? A lost curio. I see. He'll be able to help. Careful. The fragmentum in this area.
The strength. Heaven's surge. Rise!
I'm on guard.
Naughty child. Nap time.
Sense a storm. Heaven's surge. Break!
Reach the end of the story in your own way.
Over there! As I thought, he's in trouble. Let's go!
Do not be awakened, dormant scales. World-cleansing dragon. Heaven's surge. Rise!
Lance at the ready. Hit!
Oh, grace.
Nap time.
The strength.
A thousand wonders to fight its climb!
Awaken, dormant scale. World-cleansing dragon.
Lance ablaze. Lance! Forward! It's time.
I sense a storm. Heaven's surge. Break!
Let's be friends.
Peppy! Are you okay?
That's me. What's up?
He wants to ask you something about curios. I'll leave you to it. Adler, Peppy's in your hands now. Oh, about that investigation I asked for.
Don't worry. I think I figured something out. Catch you later. So, which curio do you want to know about? That's all you got? Too abstract. Well, there's beauty in the abstract, I guess. Have you asked the Department of Ecology head? She's not wrong. But that doesn't feel entirely right either.
Huh? What did I say?
Huh. Now that you mention it, I have a wild hypothesis. But it needs verifying. Let's call it a day. Wait for me. I'll be in touch.
Adler seems to have gotten a lead, but what was the information I forgot? And from whom? Let's go over it from the start. I may have overlooked something. Right. Asta mentioned another name. My memories of Arlen and Adler are hazy. I need to remember the other person Asta mentioned.
A curio that's alive but doesn't have a body. Sorry, but nothing comes to mind. How's it going? Did you find the information you're after? I see. Is that what See? My researchers are pretty outstanding. Just business as usual. Nothing to worry about. After the Legion's invasion, the space station has been under constant scrutiny. Physical damage can be easily repaired, but it takes a long time to heal the wounds in people's hearts. Some researchers have been questioning the management and security of the space station ever since the invasion. Things had settled down a bit with the reconstruction efforts, but the researchers' disappearances have rattled them again. Yes, 4 researchers have inexplicably disappeared in a matter of days. No exit logs, no traces. Vanished. People were just starting to regain their footing after the catastrophe. I didn't want panic to spread, so I suppressed the reports and told the security department to investigate in secret. However, as you can see, it's hard to keep secrets in a sardine can like this. Rebuilding trust is harder than establishing it in the first place. I'm concerned someone's pulling strings to sway public opinion. Anyway, the most important thing is to get to the bottom of the disappearances. That's okay, but thank you for the offer. Aren't you helping Madame Herta with something already? Oh, by the way, I heard about the thing mentioned, and I'll look into it too. I'll find a way to solve the problem for the space station.
So I did consult someone else other than Hinkle. The only thing I remember is that they're from the Department of Insight. The other person should be from the Department of Insight. I need to remember who it is. The other person should be from the Department of Insight. Identifying that person is crucial. It could be the key to making sense of everything.
Let me describe it again in case you forgot. It's an... Send me a signal when you see traces.
I think she mentioned something important, but if only there were some hint.
Anyway, keep up the good work. I need to go out for a bit. Go ask Asta if you want someone to help you.
Hey, what brings you here, Rich? It's been so long.
I'm not that wonderful. I'm just okay.
It's all taken care of. As long as the money's there, it's all good. Here's the account you asked for. It's legit and secure, allowing you to connect straight to the intranet.
Sure. Can I help you with something?
Oh, you flatter me. I'm just a peddler doing a little business on the side. Small scale. Best left under the table. But if you ever make it big in the guild, don't forget your humble friend, okay?
Again? How many times has it been? You're really pushing my buttons.
Here too. My memories are just a jumbled mess of words. Did my memory piece together irrelevant information? Now I remember. The other person is Emily. She was at the base zone. What did Emily say?
I say, what a wonderfully intelligent-looking young lady.
I'm not that wonderful. I'm just okay.
No need to be modest. At my age, you get a feel for intelligence. Though I confess I did hear someone say you were the shining star of the Department of Insight. Sure. Can I help you with something? See this material here? People are so inconsiderate. How's someone like me supposed to make out the small print? I'm not getting any younger, and my eyesight is failing. Do you think you can...
Again? How many times has it been? You're really pushing my buttons.
Oh, another smart-looking youngster. Wonderful. It's about time we had some new recruits.
Huh. Asta told you to find me? A curio that doesn't have a body but is alive. Isn't the Department of Ecology full of curio experts? That's got nothing to do with the Department of Insight. However, I've heard of such a species. A colleague who came back from a business trip said that the Cienjo Alliance has life forms like that. Don't get me wrong, I was merely relaying information. I didn't mean I'd help you. The atmosphere on the space station has been getting stranger lately. It's risky taking sides.
The Cienjo species Emily mentioned seems to be what inspired Adler. The Cienjo species Emily mentioned...
I figured you'd come to me to uncover the truth. I'm sorry. The situation is very delicate. I can't say anything except that it's a secret mission.
Just as I thought. I vaguely remember that Arlen said more. It's related to the thing I forgot.
I'm sorry. The situation is very delicate. How did you know? I see. Could you also tell that Lady Asta was feeling the pressure? I'll be honest with you. It's been tough. The surveillance didn't capture anything regarding the researcher's disappearance. There's only one clue. Adler observed that the automatic fire suppression system was momentarily activated around the time the disappearances occurred. That means that every victim's disappearance was accompanied by some inexplicable fire. When we made visits to the scenes, some of the witness testimony seemed to agree with this. The words they used were spontaneous combustion of the human body.
Have you asked the Department of Ecology head? She's not wrong. But that doesn't...
Huh? What did I say?
She's not wrong. That's right! They're called Heliobi. I guess you could say that Wubbaboos and Heliobi are sort of like cousins. Both are types of energy life form. Now that you mention it, I have a wild hypothesis, but it needs verifying. Let's call it a day. Wait for me. I'll be in touch.
Spontaneous combustion of the human body. That's most likely the truth. Let me remember my initial conversation with Herta, just in case. I need to go over it from the start.
Let me describe it again in case you forgot. It's an... Send me a signal when you see traces of it.
I think she mentioned something, if only there were some hints.
Let me describe it again in case you forgot. It's an energy life form. Send me a signal when you see traces of it. That's not the point. I wouldn't be bothering with it if it didn't have something to do with the Genius Society. Anyway, keep up the good work. I need to go out for a bit. Go ask Asta if you want someone to help you.
I commend your stamina for recounting that interminable tale. You must be exhausted. My ears certainly are. So, to sum it up, the last time you laid eyes on Herta was in her office. She sent you on a wild goose chase for some trinket, the curio, after which you knew nothing else until Lady Asta contacted you. If that's the narrative you're sticking to, then indulge me. Who, pray tell, can substantiate this captivating drama?
Affirmation. We can ask Herta herself.
Well, if you lace up those boots and start sprinting now, you might just catch the IPC shuttle in 4 system hours. But as it stands, not a single soul can corroborate his story.
Mr. Ratio, your style of questioning would seem to have a preconceived bias.
Apologies, it's an unfortunate habit of mine. When one is immersed in academic research, skepticism comes far more naturally than belief. It is also the most efficient method, judging from my experience. Seeking answers with a negative hypothesis in mind is still valid research. It can still help us reach the truth. If he is truly innocent, he can clear his name with answers. Based on your story, you met with Herta because she specifically wanted you for an assignment.
I remember now. Back then...
That's enough pretending. Based on your story, you met with Herta because she specifically wanted you for an assignment.
If you knew Herta, then you wouldn't find it weird.
Don't interrupt other people. Based on your story, you met with Herta because she specifically wanted you for an assignment.
I remember now.
That's enough and the assignment involves a curio that doesn't even have a name. Based on your story, you met with Herta.
I remember now.
That's enough pretending. Based on your story, you met with Herta and the assignment involves a curio that doesn't even have a name.
I remember now.
That's enough pretend. And the assignment involves a curio.
Herta didn't mention the name of the curio. However, she did give a thorough description of the curio.
True. You wouldn't be able to make that up.
Why do I feel like I'm being looked down on?
And the assignment involves a curio that Herta's collection. An endless trove of trinkets and baubles. And yet, she singles out one nameless ordinary curio?
Sure, but you're the one saying the curio in question is ordinary.
Say what you want to say.
A correct observation, if I may add.
Herta's collection. An endless trove of trinkets and baubles. And yet, she singles out one...
The curio isn't the point. Herta was only addressing it because of its relation to the Genius Society.
I would imagine the curio is the creation of a genius. Affirmation. It holds some special meaning to Herta.
Yes. That seems logically sound. Then you said you asked Asta for help with the lost curio.
Yes, to get more information about the curio. I didn't get a direct answer, but Asta recommended I seek out a researcher who could help.
Then you said you asked Asta for help with the lost curio. However, she decided to hold her tongue until now?
Mr. Ratio, it's because...
I'm asking him. Your testimony went out the window the second you started being secretive. However, she decided to hold her tongue until now?
I remember now.
That's enough pretending, however.
Mr. Ratio, it's because...
I'm asking him. Your testimony went... However, then you said you asked Asta...
I remember now.
That's enough pretend. Then you... However, so what's the story? Are you full of fanciful fiction? Or is
Asta isn't trying to...
What could be more important than Herta's safety?
I agreed for Mr. Ratio to become involved in this. It's okay.
So what's the story? Are you full of fanciful fiction? Or is Asta the one hoarding secrets like they're going out of...
The space station has been very distrustful of its higher management, ever since the Antimatter Legion's invasion. Another severe incident would further intensify suspicion, and cause great internal strife.
Oh. So that explains why Lady Asta approved of my participation. After all, the Intelligentsia Guild's representative wouldn't be linked to the space station, but would still share the IPC's position. They wouldn't be partial to anyone, but would still act for the space station's benefit. Two birds with one stone. Researchers' disappearances, you say? Yes, I've heard the responsibility of sorting out that mess has been thrust upon Arlen, head of the security department.
Yes. I ran into Arlen when looking for Adler.
Adler?
A level 2 researcher. According to the Department of Ecology head, he knows more about curios than anyone else. He happened to be helping Arlen investigate the disappearances.
Well, did he enlighten you?
Adler seemed to have an idea at the time, but he never contacted me again.
Researchers' disappearances, you say? Clearly, though, it bears no connection to Herta's puppet being attacked.
No connection? I disagree. There should be evidence...
Clearly, though, it bears no connection to Herta's puppet...
No. If I recall correctly, Asta said, one of Madame Herta's puppets was attacked by an unknown perpetrator. We don't know the location of the puppet, and we can't pinpoint its signal. Don't know the location. Isn't that the same as missing?
She did say that, but then what? You need to provide evidence to show incidents are linked.
There should be evidence. Arlen discovered something odd when he was investigating the disappearances. The space station's automatic fire suppression system was momentarily activated around the time the disappearances happened. Arlen mentioned that each victim disappeared due to spontaneous combustion.
Huh. But there are no signs of a fire anywhere in the space station.
That's what's so odd about it. But this information has an additional layer of importance. This may not be direct evidence, but if the system also recorded the fire suppression system activating when the puppet was attacked, then there's ample evidence to indicate that these two cases are linked.
If these two incidents were caused by the same person, then the suspicion put on you would decrease, provided that this fire suppression record does exist in the system.
We'll see in the main control room. Let's go. Huh? What was that?
Harrider Newsflash. This is an urgent broadcast. I repeat, this is an urgent broadcast. News has finally emerged regarding the attack on Madame Herta. The Annihilation Gang has claimed responsibility for the incident and warned of further activity. The Guild has expressed utmost condemnation.
The gods of the starry skies have abandoned the world. They give no thought to the masses. Only the wounded savior can bathe the world in the firelight of destruction. Yet always there are cowards trying in vain to reject their favor and escape the wounds. Flee then. Flee as far as you can. No matter the distance, annihilation will find you.
This is...
A declaration of war, and an announcement of what's to come. They have set their sights on you. The Legion's impact remains, and the Annihilation Gang is already paying a visit. It almost seems like this space station is more suited for the path of destruction than erudition.
This Duke Inferno Ifrit is a life form that hails from Fatora, a world long since destroyed. His race, the ever-burning fire demons, regard Nanook as their emperor and savior, but the Eon has never cast their gaze upon them.
A group of pitiful lunatics. I like Dr. Primitive's assessment of them. The value Nanook sees in the Annihilation Gang is perhaps far less than one might see in a child who deliberately broke a vase. The fire demons have a cruel temper and instinctively ignite and destroy items. Ifrit is particularly evil and cruel, even among his kin. The Everflame mansion he heads is even the arch-enemy of the Japella Brotherhood, despite both groups belonging to the Annihilation Gang.
Japella Brotherhood? I've heard that name somewhere.
On the Stellaron Hunters wanted posters, they stand accused of inciting the Japella Rebellion, the uprising that caused the downfall of the Brotherhood.
The Japella Palace crumbled in the scorching flames, and Ifrit's power has grown by the day ever since. Would you believe it would be merely a coincidence? Something similar is about to happen here. Spontaneous combustion? For him, it's as routine as me finding fault in everything. The disappearance of researchers and the puppet were all part of the plan. And after that video will soon circulate. And this station's fate? Flames. Nothing but flames.
The destruction of trust.
I'm afraid more than trust will be destroyed here. You need to start acting now if you want to survive. You, come with me. You have a superior strategy? Pray tell, do we set the two of them loose, turning whispered fears into full-blown pandemonium?
If we did that, we'd be at a disadvantage. I'll stay here and try to contain the news as best I can. Please, investigate the issue quickly.
It's still early. Where to now?
Not good. This is serious. The security department will do whatever we can to help you.
A list of the missing researchers and their details.
Sure, but the security department already combed through their backgrounds and personal relationships. We didn't find anything odd. The Annihilation Gang are a group of die-hard thugs. They might be attacking indiscriminately.
A list of the missing researchers and their details.
Okay.
Take it. Remember these names. Find a friend who's tuned into the gossip around here and tell them you want to know the relationship between these people. I don't know. That depends on your friend.
What else do you need me to do?
Take me to the one who knows the most about curios within the Department of Ecology, if you would be so kind.
He disappeared too. I didn't really notice at first. Adler's difficult to get a hold of at the best of times. But it's been a few system hours, and I still can't reach him. Even the surveillance cameras can't find any trace. The last time I saw him was in the Master Control Zone. He was with Wen Sherling from the Department of Implement Arts.
Lead the way. You said Adler was on the verge of a discovery, yet couldn't confer his knowledge. Intriguing and frustrating, to say the least. If his disappearance is also related to the case here, then maybe he really did stumble upon something important.
True. The keywords that got Adler thinking were energy life forms. Duke Inferno is also an energy life form. Coincidence? We need to investigate this.
Jerk! 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 Fine! Disappear! I don't ever want to see your face again! Oh, it's you. It's Adler. Adler disappeared. He's been acting really weird recently. Always researching stuff like spontaneous combustion, supernatural activities. He doesn't even answer me when I speak to him. He was talking to himself.
What did he talk about?
He kept saying the word phrase.
Phrase.
Who said I want him back? But if you want to find him, he was reading this booklet the last time I saw him. I don't know exactly what he's searching for, but I hope it can help you.
your countenance. So the researchers who disappeared were at the forefront of challenging management. Isn't that a curious puzzle piece? I finished browsing through this booklet while you were replying to messages. It recorded the lives of a few Genius Society members. I'd say it contains some interesting information. It's time to go back and chat with Lady Asta and Mr. Screwlum.
You're back. I've been monitoring the dark web. I barely managed to stop the video from spreading. The incident hasn't grown any bigger, for now. How are things with you?
Less than promising. Or to use a different phrase, we're in deep trouble. We're running out of time. Let's retrace our steps and evaluate the situation. From the data we've collected, there are 3 avenues we can explore. First, Adler's disappearance. He must have come across some vital information.
Adler also.
You think that Adler's discovery drew the enemy's attention?
Indeed, and I already know what he found. First, Adler's disappearance. He must have come
I understand.
Tenuous connections. First, the next angle is what the victims have in common. Distasteful as that discussion may be.
Distasteful discussion?
A mere glance at their background would indicate they share no... However, after browsing through their online records, Lady Asta must know. The next angle is what the victims have in common. Distasteful as that last is the abilities of Duke Inferno and the secret of spontaneous human combustion. You probably already know about this. The fire demon of Fatora, the Duke of the Annihilation Gang. Last is the abilities of Duke Inferno and the secret of spontaneous... During prior unrest, instigated by the Everflame Mansion, the flickering tongues of Duke Inferno's fire carrying a certain property. And this... Look. The answer? This booklet describes a kind of... The kindling of this unique flame. This booklet describes a kind of fire that can phase through dimensions.
It's the phase flame. The creation of member... However, she lived for a mere 29 days on the phase flame shifted into a different phase as soon as it was created. When it returned...
This booklet describes a kind of kindling of this unique flame. Must be the missing curio that Hurt has been...
Somebody was once able to glimpse the traces of the phase flame and obtained a wisp. If Ifrit is a scion of the phase...
The kindling of this unique flame. I fear that this is the truth Adler discovered. Undoubtedly, the Curio and Adler already discovered the relationship between spontaneous... I fear that this is the truth Adler discovered. This booklet describes a kind of fire that can phase through dimensions.
I understand.
Tenuous connection. This booklet describes a kind of fire that can phase through.
I understand.
Tenuous connection. This booklet describes a kind of fire that can phase.
I understand.
Tenuous connect. This booklet
It's the phase flame. The creation of However, she lived for the phase flame.
This booklet describes a kind of fire that can phase through. The kindling of this unique. This booklet describes a kind of fire that can phase through dimensions, claiming it burns through worlds. The kindling of this booklet does the kindling of this unique flame. I fear that this is the truth Adler discovered. When Sherling said, Adler kept muttering about a phrase before he disappeared. I believe this word was actually phase. He saw Member 29 Sir Call's research topic. As a scion of the phase flame, Duke Inferno would naturally share similar capabilities. Full-on phase shift. That is the truth of the spontaneous human combustion. The researchers didn't disappear. We don't know where the victims went, but Duke Inferno's plan is now clear. And the sudden and consecutive disappearances provided the best environment for chaos to fester. Once the seed of unrest has sprouted, he will then send out an announcement for an imminent attack. It will push the crisis from the dark into the light, catalyzing it into new growth and bloom. The next step would be to ignite the spark. Look at those researchers who disappeared. What would happen if someone realized their similarities? I need say no more.
It was all a premeditated trap to stir up chaos on the space station.
We're running out of time.
This...
No, it isn't enough.
Indeed, it needs one more spark.
What do you mean?
If you limit your involvement to this, there's still room for excuses. If it were me, I wouldn't give you the chance.
Could it be?
Huh? What is it?
Stay calm. Asta was merely teleported. Her life was not in danger. Based on first-hand experience, I have ascertained that Ifrit's flame is simply a splinter of the primordial phase flame, lacking any phase shift ability. Logic. Asta is still within the confines of the space station.
That flame must still be somewhere inside the station. Find it, and we'll find a way to bring her back.
A splinter, you say? The arrogance of the gifted is charming in its own way. Try then if you must.
It seems that Duke Inferno didn't deign to personally grace the space station. He merely cast infernal fire into our midst to wreak havoc among the researchers. When the fire fizzles out, his malevolent plans will vanish without a trace.
I will head to Herta's office and activate the folded space in the curio storage room. With some changes to its parameters, I can use it to block the fire's teleportation routes and seal it inside the station. Mr. Ratio, please go with Mr. Trailblazer and contain the fire.
Infernal fire is also a form of energy life form. The imaging device will pick up its trace. Follow it. The way is awash with flames. It must have just teleported. Be careful. Get ready to dash into the fire. See? It's still in the space station. Like Skrullum said, it cannot escape from here. Do you know what to do with cornered prey? Hunt it to the death.
The fire is dying. This place is strange.
It's still resisting. The fold in the space has shifted. I can deduce its escape route with a mere glance. I'm asking questions. Answer me.
There's always a weakness. Lend me your strength.
Test. 0 points.
It's time.
Naughty child.
Your answers?
You'll pay for this. Time for a shot. Nap time.
Answer me. Fail.
This battle is unavoidable. Lend me your strength. That's better. Your assistance is timely.
I'm asking questions. Test.
This has nothing to do with you.
The flame is getting weaker. Duke Inferno can't maintain it anymore. For the theater of the mediocre. Your answers? SAS Perkibi. Knowledge, the measure of truth and falsehood. Answer me.
There's always a weakness. We've entered the storm. To guard and defend! Crush them!
Lance at the ready. Hit!
Nap time.
Lance ablaze. Lance! Forward!
0 points. On the defense. Adjust. Fail.
What is your goal?
Seems like this chase is about to end. For the theater of the mediocre. It's over.
Ignorant fools blindly chasing the firelight, not knowing that the blessings of destruction already lie at their feet. It is little wonder that even the descent of the Savior's Legion was unable to cleanse this place. I will acknowledge my brashness. For now. But next time, expect no intermediaries. I will come to personally offer you the demise of your sins with infernal fire.
A small fragment of consciousness in there is gone. Duke Inferno has discarded this fire. Oh? No. Hold on. Ah, the banal theatrics of stalling. Let's not, shall we?
Answer me! 0 points!
You'll pay for this. Lend me your strength.
Adjust. SAS per kid. Knowledge, the measure of truth and falsehood.
Lance at the ready. Hit!
Naughty child.
0 points. I'm asking questions. Answer me. Fail. Zero points.
Just a little something. Think nothing of it. Nap time. Lend me your strength.
Your answers? A test. SAS Perkibi. Knowledge, the measure of truth and falsehood.
It's time.
We've entered the storm. To guard and defend! Crush them!
Good.
Answer me.
Lance ablaze. Lance! Forward!
I'm okay.
Not a scratch. I'm on guard.
Naughty child. Nap time. This battle is unavoidable.
Test.
Just a little something. Think nothing of it. Assistance is timely.
Lance at the ready. Hit!
Answer me. Fail.
You'll pay for this.
Got the defense? Test. 0 points. SAS. Knowledge, the measure of truth and falsehood. Fail.
Time for a shot. Nap time.
So this is the extent of miscreants materializing from the Inferno. Seems like Dr. Primitive wasn't wrong. Answer me.
Lance ablaze. Lance! Forward!
There's always a weakness. Naughty child. This battle is unavoidable.
Your answers? Test. 0 points.
Time for a nap time.
The fire is weakening. It's preparing to flee. You, keep your eye out for Lady Asta's whereabouts. Answer me.
Merciful Medicus.
I'm on guard. Hit! Lance ablaze. Lance! Forward!
Naughty child.
Your answers? Test. SAS Perk. Knowledge, the measure of truth and falsehood.
A miracle.
Lance at the ready.
Fail.
Nap time. You'll pay for this.
Zero points.
We've entered the storm. To guard and defend! Crush them!
Answer me.
It's time. Lance ablaze! Lance! Forward!
Time for a shot. Just a little something. Think nothing of it.
Nice teamwork.
Test.
I'm on guard. Hit!
Nap time.
A miracle. Entry. 0 points.
SAS. Knowledge. The measure of truth and falsehood.
Lance ablaze! Lance! Forward!
Freedom. Zero points.
I'm asking questions.
Test. Freedom.
Good work. You did very well. Rest assured, Asta only had a fright. She is recovering in the clinic. While you were chasing the enemy, the security department also found the missing researchers. Affirmation: they are all safe and sound. It was all thanks to Adler. They fell into a spatial curio and could not leave until the Department of Ecology's most knowledgeable curio expert solved it from within. Many of them were shaken by their experience when Arlen found them, but they are otherwise fine. Yes, it is over. This business is over, and I believe the space station will be able to deal with any internal aftershocks. In Herta's stead, I thank you for your efforts, sir. But there is one mystery that remains unsolved. And that is something I must deal with myself. I've been waiting.
Fallout from this incident remains. Surely you have plenty of pressing matters to attend to. Or is the safety of the space station beneath your concern?
Answer: that is exactly why I came. After all, the principal figure in this whole affair is right here.
When did you start to doubt me?
When one is immersed in academic research, skepticism comes far more naturally than belief. I've had the same bad habit as you since the beginning, Mr. Ratio.
I must say, I'm quite honored, Mr. Screwlam. But do explain, why opt for silent wisdom when you already had the pieces of the puzzle?
For curiosity's sake. Affirmation: I made the same decision as you, to accompany and observe.
Oh, and when did you become convinced?
Objectively speaking, aside from some minor spiritual trauma, no researchers were hurt in this attack, which never aligned with the Annihilation Gang's modus operandi. Logic? A third party saved them.
Had I not fortuitously acquired a spark of the Phase Flame and intervened in Duke Inferno's teleportation, those people would already be space waste, floating past the windows here.
You are more candid than I calculated.
But still behaving within your calculations, no? One last question, Skrullum. Genius though you are, can you deduce why I did this?
I cannot be sure and can only hypothesize. Helping the weak hints at the merciful instinct of a medical doctor, but maintaining a cool, detached observation reveals the strictness of a scholar. And pulling the strings from behind the curtain is akin to laying down the gauntlet to a genius.
The ruler of planet Skrullum is indeed well versed in the human mind. It's a pity you're as much in the ivory tower as other geniuses. You still got one thing wrong. To stand aside and observe is the best treatment one can give. There is a disease called foolishness that is harder to cure than any ailment. The path of erudition has neither reason nor logic. While geniuses wander among the stars, the ordinary can't even trace their footsteps. Those less gifted have no choice but to walk alone, enduring a lifetime of tumbles and triumphs. But even a life marked by failure is a life worth living. It is only in moments of solitude and despair, when help is absent, that fools grasp how to pick themselves up. I have a fastidious nature. I cannot stand fools, idiots, or imbeciles. Seeing them fills me with dread. Regrettably, this space station is just like the Intelligentsia Guild, devoid of geniuses and filled with mediocrity.
You wish to uproot the researchers' blind worship of geniuses.
I am only laying out my questions. As for the answers, they'll find them themselves. Pursuit tinged with negativity is still pursuit, and it is capable of leading us to the right conclusion. For the masses of the mediocre to reach a level of awareness, this is a necessary rite of passage.
You are indeed more like a medical doctor than a scholar.
As for the spark I leave behind,
I believe Asta will deal with it properly.
It is also a lesson I left for her. With that, I take my leave. I look forward to future encounters with such brilliant minds. Let's hope they're as memorable as those we had today. A farce full of trivial concerns. Ultimately, they're just mediocre minds.